Hi everybody, this is Peter Rogen from Your Day and Awakening, and today I'm going to make a little video about kind of a lot of popular, I would say books and movies that all relate back to very channeled material. And you know, you take something like Harry Potter in the culture right now, and you know, so some, you know, big story where basically, you know, kids are having these very magical powers and abilities, right? And that, you know, you introduce something like that into a culture like what we have now, where we're full of all of these indigos and crystal children, you know, of course, you know, things like that are going to blow up because, you know, we all have past lives and experiences and understandings of ourselves, you know, as very energetic, powerful, magical beings. You know, some people have stepped further into that role than others, but, you know, I can't tell you, you know, the ability to, you know, tap into anybody's higher self in the entire world instantaneously and clear out their light body from all problems or reverse fires that they suffer from anywhere in the world, you know, really starts to change your understanding of this world and, you know, your understanding of yourself as a magical, you know, powerful, energetic being. And that, you know, you can see, you know, blips, you know, within pop culture where things that start to play and touch on those really deep pieces of people, you know, get really popular. You know, sitting down and watching something like Harry Potter, well, what that is for all of these really high-frequency, magical, energetic beings is that's the only place where they're accessing these like ancient and mystical sides of themselves, right? And you know, so you sit down and watch it, and like there's this deep resonance that you have with things like that, because they're just so very true. And you know, there's a reason Harry Potter is just like all over the entire world right now. That some little kid, you know, here to help this world, you know, with a magic wand is everybody's just like completely in love with, because it touches on these really ancient and mystical sides of themselves. And you know that there's things like the Lord of the Rings is also, you know, something like that. You know, another wonderful example, of course, is Star Wars, right? Where the idea that a story about us as intergalactic traveling beings who have access to a universal kind of magic intelligent space called the Force, you know, gets to be so big that, you know, you can still to this day, you know, 30, 40 years later, say, may the Force be with you, and everybody knows what you're talking about. And that you know, there's a reason things like this get so unbelievably popular, because, again, they touch on things within people that are very true, but that people just don't access in any way other than when they sit down and watch Star Wars and, you know, talk about the Force. In a lot of ways, it's all related to channeled material, you know, and there's a lot of people here, you know, Bashar's, you know, one great channel, you know, and I'm going to be careful not to get into, you know, certain channels that are good and bad, and there's terrible channels and there's wonderful channels, but that, you know, all this stuff is all very channeled material, and you know, because it's coming from unrestricted from these people to create these worlds that they kind of imagine and inhabit very easily, because they're all very true worlds, and you know, things like the Force are very real, and that's the reason that that is so popular. Another one that people don't think about very often is Superman. You know, what Superman is, he is an alien with magical powers who lives in a crystal palace whose weakness is a crystal. Like, can you get more new agey, like, on track with what this shift is than that? You know, and that all these things that get that popular, they only get that popular because there are truths that resonate deep within us that, you know, people may not on the surface say, you know, oh, I believe the Force is real, but there's a piece deep down that they just know it is, and it just completely resonates, and they understand it completely. And you know, I guess it's important for people to start realizing that, you know, a lot of popular culture, you know, especially movies, that you know, Narnia is another one, you know, where you start to introduce the idea of kind of magic and alternate worlds, into people, and people just love it. They just like cling to it like you wouldn't believe, and it's because you know, we all have, you know, inner truth detectors that are going on, and you know, even if your 3D mind is saying, you know, that's impossible, you still have huge, deep subconscious parts of you that completely agree and love Star Wars because of it. And I guess it's just, you know, it's good to be getting that to people's attention that, you know, there are all sorts of things in our, you know, regular everyday worlds that are pointing us to the magic of our own beings. And I guess I just hope that helps, and namaste and big love.